Hi instructors, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration about what prerequisites and requirements can do for you in your Canvas course, especially if you're an OE course and you need to control maybe students flowing through the curriculum. And some of you might be familiar with this feature, but maybe it hasn't worked exactly like you hoped. And so my hope is that by showing you exactly how to do it, that you can customize it for your class's needs. So first of all, I'm in a course that I helped to put together for the medical assisting, and I'm going to show you an example of how we did it in modules. So because the learning is sequential, we made some choices about how thresholds that students would have to pass through in order to get access to the next content. So there's a lot of material and it can be overwhelming for students. So let's say that a student is in week 1 and there's some things that you need them to finish before they move on to the materials for week 2. Whether or not they do it fast or slow probably doesn't matter to you. So let me show you really quick how you create prerequisites. So if I think, okay, before someone finishes week 1, before someone goes on to week 2, I want them to accomplish a couple of things. So I'm going to go to week 2 and click edit. And this is the pane where I can create prerequisites and requirements. So here's the prerequisite. Prerequisites are created they're only about modules. So your modules are your larger chunks of content in gray here. And then these different items are quizzes, assignments, pages, whatever content that you put inside the module. So just make sure that we understand that. So prerequisites are module level. So if I want to add a prerequisite, I want to say select module, and I can select week 1, meaning that they need to complete all of the requirements of week 1 before they move forward. And I would say update module if I wanted that, but I'm going to X out of it because I don't want that for this particular course. So that's how you do a prerequisite. But you need to know how to create the requirements on a module. So for week 1, look here. So here's prerequisites, here's requirements. I can check a box that says students must complete all of these requirements. I can also check a box saying students must move through requirements in sequential order of what you put at the top. That's important to know. Or you can have a box checked that says students must complete one of these requirements. Maybe you just need to make sure that they did one of several different things before you unlock the next module. So you will select the item that is in that module that you want them to do. It can be quizzes, pages, files, assignments, and then you can have it, you can make the requirement that they view the item. You can have them that they need to mark it as done. They might need to contribute to the page. That's a feature on pages that I'll show in a different video. They could need to just submit the assignment. So as long as they do the quiz or submit a file upload for the assignment, then they can move forward, or score at least. And this is the interesting one. So for example here, chapter 1 test, they need to score at least 16 out of 20. Many of our programs require an 80% passing level. And so if you want to make sure that your students aren't skipping ahead to new material until they have passed at that level, this is how you do it. So you just have to set it up so the amount of points that they get out of the total points for the quiz, that you set it to say score at least. And that's only an option on assessments and things that have points allotted to them. And especially with quizzes that are graded by Canvas, it makes it really simple for you because the computer's the one that grades it, and so the student unlocks it themselves. So I'm going to click cancel and show you what it looks like for a student. And if you have the requirements set up, you will see that in addition to the amount of points that quiz or that assignment is worth, now you'll have a little gray word here that says submit. That means that the student's required to submit that. And then here it says score at least 16 points. So it has it written right in there for them. Okay, let's log in as a student to this particular program. Okay. And I'm going to go into Medical Assistant 1 Master and show you how it works. So I'm enrolled as a student, and I'm going to go into my modules, and the student it'll have grayed out the items that they can't go to yet. And some of you may already be familiar with that. So I'm scrolling down. Okay, so then there, it finally loaded. So let me just show you as I scroll down. Week 3 terminology is completely grayed out. I can't even select it or click on it because it's still locked based on the prerequisites and the requirements. So if I go here to this abbreviation 1 practice quiz, you'll see a checkbox right there next to it because I have already submitted it. So it tells me that I have done that. And the same for the terminology practice quiz. But then I have this hole here where I still need to do the chapter 1 test. So then once I pass that, I can then move on, and it will unlock. The way that this particular course works is it shows you, it unlocks 2 weeks ahead of time. So I can do the week 2 activities with no problem. But that is one way that you can control student flow and help students focus on what they need to be working on instead of jumping around within your course. Now, if you have some assignments that are fluid, I will say here's a way that we have handled that with this particular OEOE course. And it's not to say that you need to do it this way. So in level 1 of medical assisting, we have hybrid assignments that are their Friday activities. And those hybrid assignments are not locked down at the requirement. We have requirements on each of them, but they have fewer restrictions. So right now, I think I probably have it set up that you have to do it in order because it looks like these are locked, but it doesn't have to be that way. So like a student could at any time go in here and start and work through a bunch of assignments ahead of time if they have that ability, so that they are not being held back by arbitrary time constraints. We really want our students to move forward quickly if they're able to in an OEOE setting. So if you have more questions about this, feel free to contact me.